Somewhere along the way, many of us were taught that belonging meant being chosen. That if we worked hard enough, stayed quiet enough, or proved ourselves worthy enough, someone would eventually pull out a chair for us at their table. But here's the truth. I've sat at those tables. I fought to be at those tables. And every time I tried to mold myself into someone else's idea of enough, I felt myself fading. I lost joy. I lost connection. I lost the very parts of me that made me powerful. The real power was never in being chosen. It was in choosing myself. It was in building my own table. Welcome to the Christina DiStefano podcast, where we explore the intersection of mindset to manifestation and the art of becoming in your space, your style, and your soul. I'm your host, Christina DiStefano, luxury real estate advisor, designer, and guide for the woman you're becoming. Here we go beyond surface level design and traditional success. We talk about transforming your home as a portal, embodying your next level identity, and creating a life that feels as good as it looks. If you're ready to step into your fullest expression with courage, intention, and beauty, you're in the right place. Let's begin. The scarcity mindset tells us there's only one table, only a few seats, and we should be grateful for scraps. Sovereignty says there are infinite tables that we can build, one that reflects exactly who we are. And here's the beautiful part. When you build your own table, something powerful happens. The right people find their way to you. This podcast is my table, and it's where I'm gathering women like you, women who know that shrinking, silencing, or numbing ourselves will never lead to the life we crave. Because what we've been missing is real connection, and that starts with truth. Let's look at the cultural mirror, what art has been showing us all along. I really do believe that art is trying to teach us this lesson. Think back to the stories that have stayed with you. In Legally Blonde, Elle Woods tries to prove she belongs at Harvard Law until she realizes her brilliance lies in being exactly who she is. In The Devil Wears Prada, Andy Sachs molds herself to survive in someone else's world until she gives the coat back and walks away. In Mona Lisa's Smile, Julia Roberts' character challenges an entire generation of women to dream beyond the roles they were handed. In Erin Brockovich, the woman who doesn't look or act the part ends up changing everything because she refused to shrink. In Joy, Jennifer Lawrence shows us what happens when a woman decides to bet on herself. And in Frozen, Elsa is told her entire life to conceal, don't feel, until she finally unleashes her true power and builds her own palace. These stories stay with us because they reflect a truth we've always carried deep inside. The moment you stop trying to fit in at their table and start building your own, everything begins to shift. That's been true in my life too. When I tried to contort myself to fit into other people's definitions of success, I lost my spark. I disconnected from my creativity, my joy, and from the very woman I longed to connect with. I'd walk out of those rooms feeling tired, heavy, like I had to leave parts of myself behind just to stay included. But the moments when I listened to my own rhythm, when I followed the vision only I could see, that's when I felt alive again. That's when I found my people, women who shared my fire, conversations that felt electric, collaborations that felt soul-led. And this podcast is part of that. It may start here through your headphones, through content, but it's already becoming something bigger. And here's the thing, this isn't just about connection. When you build your own table, everything really does start to change. your voice sharpens, your relationships deepen, your work becomes more aligned. I actually think it gives you even more energy. At least that's the experience that I've been living through. I feel so inspired, so creative. I have multiple projects, but yet I have the energy and the inspiration to fuel them. Eventually, that expansion moves to your finances, your career, your assets, your legacy. So think of this episode as the first stone laid in the foundation of life you're meant to build. Right now, we're starting with voice. Soon we'll move into structure, then into power, and then into wealth. So let's have a collective reframe right now. The world has told women that power comes from being chosen, but our power has always come from choosing ourselves. Scarcity whispers, stay small, be grateful, don't rock the boat. But sovereignty says you get to build the boat. You get to create a life, a table, a business, a path that reflects the truth of who you are. And when you do, the right people come. Not because you chased them, but because you finally stood still in your light. That's what we're doing here. We're remembering what has always been ours. This episode is brought to you by me, Christina DiStefano. I wrote a little book called The Powerhouse Handbook. This book is not here to teach you who to be. It's here to remind you that you already are her. It's a pocket companion you can carry everywhere, a mirror that keeps reflecting your strength back to you. If this podcast resonates, check it out. I think you'll feel seen on every page. Okay, babe, let's get back to her. I want to leave you with 3 questions to reflect or journal on this week. Where in your life are you still waiting for a seat? What table are you trying to fit in that doesn't reflect who you truly are? And lastly, if you built your own table, who would you invite? And here's your action step. Write down one non-negotiable for your table. One thing you will never again trade to feel accepted. Maybe it's your voice, maybe it's your time, maybe it's your softness. Whatever it is, name it, protect it, and let it become the cornerstone for the house you're building. So here's what I want you to carry with you this week. Stop waiting for the chair. Build the house, host the table, and own the light. If this episode lit something up in you, send it to a friend who needs to hear this today. Be the woman who pulls another woman forward. And if you love this conversation, please leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple or Spotify. It helps this message reach women who need it most, and there are so many of us who do. Together, we're building something bigger, and I'm so grateful you're here right at the beginning. And on that note, sending you so much love from New York. Mwah.